You did that to be interesting. I'd actually watch that one. Okay, see how long it lasted.
So there are two questions I have to ask
Go
you.
ahead.
The first one's kind of fun. Aliens. I want to talk to you about aliens.
Yeah.
UFOs, UAPs.
I know.
The disclosure we've seen in Congress
Yeah.
recently. It's confusing and upsetting a lot of Americans because there's something happening. There are unidentified aerial phenomena in the sky. We don't know what they are. Do you?
So it's such a question I do get a lot, and it's such an interesting question. I've met with pilots that look just like you, actually. Okay, they have more of a crew cut. Okay, they look like him and they look like you. Some of them look like you,
A little fatter.
but these are perfect people.
Okay.
And they're not
crazy.
conspiratorial. They're not crazy.
Yeah.
And they tell me stories that they've seen things that you wouldn't believe. These are not people that you would say, "Gee,
no way.
oh, that's
No
okay."
way. President of the United States.
But
I said, was your
Who
phone
is it? That's
silent?
Joe Biden wanting to do an interview. So I've met with pilots like beautiful Tom Cruise, but taller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Handsome, perfect people. Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane. And I look at these guys and they really mean it.
Yeah.
And am I a believer? No, I can't say I am. But I have met with people that are serious people that say there's some really strange things that they see flying around out there. And if you go to Nevada and you look at that little section of where they go to look at the aliens, where they think all the aliens are landing, that it's I think it's maybe the number one tourist attraction in the United States.
Roswell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roswell. I think it's the number one. It's the lines of people waiting. You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that information?
I have access, and I speak to people about it. I've had actually meetings on it, and they will tell you there's something going on. When they say things are going 4 times faster than my beautiful top-of-the-line airplane that goes, real fast.
With no identifiable propulsion
Mach
system.
2,
Yeah.
right?
These things are creating their own gravity fields, allegedly.
Well, they have people that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there. And, it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing. But a lot of people believe that it's true. A lot of very good, solid people believe it's true.
What? And
I know there are illegal aliens out there, but those are the ones that come through the border. We have plenty of them. Those are the ones I know. When you say aliens, I say, are they illegal aliens? These might be illegal, but we don't want to test them.
Yeah.
Because if they can go 4 times faster, we're not going to test them.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
All right. Shalom to the elect. I want to start by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Kudash. And what I said was I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, all right? Which Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, and the name of his son Yahweh Shai, which Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Messiah, and Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are not so-called white men, they are so-called black men, all right? In the name of the Holy Spirit, all right? Which Rachal means spirit and Kodash means holy. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect, all right? My name is Ashiarba, okay? And this lesson is going into the fact that Donald Trump, he even believes that, he pretty much, he doesn't know what they are, but he believes that the chariots are real, okay? He believes that the chariots are the so-called UFOs, all right? He believes that they are real. He believes that there's something out there, as you saw in this interview here, man. And we've been telling people this, man, all right? And Congress said that there's something out there. They had an 8-day hearing on it, okay? It's something that it's something, all right? The fact that a vehicle of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai causes Congress to have a straight 8-day hearing about them, okay? So, I just want to get some scriptures real quick. So, I'm going to start off in here. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, and starting at I'll start from here. The 2nd Ezra chapter 13, starting in verse 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. All right, and the sea represents outer space, because in Genesis, the first chapter, verses 6 through 7, all right, it talks about how there's waters above the firmament and waters under the firmament, which the firmament is the ozone layer, okay? It says, verse 3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven, okay? And that man is talking about Yahweh Shai. And the thousands of heaven is talking about the angels, all right? And the precept to that is the book of Psalms, chapter 68 and verse 17. And it says, the chariots of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Okay? So the thousands of heaven is reference to the angels. So back in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, in the 3rd verse, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man, Yahweh Shai, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Meaning when Yahweh Shai returns, everyone is going to be in great fear when he returns, man. All right? You got to picture this, Sometimes the scriptures, all right, they make out a really intricate, they put a good image in your head, man. All right? You got to picture what you're reading, as Apostle Gabar states. I believe Apostle Gabar is the one that said it. Salaki if I'm wrong. And also Salaki for any background noises you hear, all right? But verse 4, it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. Okay, and it's talking about the chariots burning up everyone that tries to fight Yahweh Shai and his army of angels. And the voice is the lasers from the chariot. All right. Now, verse 5, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right. Because all these nations, all right, are going, are going to try and all these nations pretty much, when Yahweh Shai returns, are going to come together and try to fight and stop Yahweh Shai. But it's not going to work. Okay? Even though Donald Trump said this, right? Let's listen to it again.
And you
I know
have,
there are illegal aliens out there, but those are the ones that come through the border. We have plenty of them. Those are the ones I know. When you say aliens, I say, are they illegal aliens? These might be illegal, but we don't want to test them.
Yeah.
Because if they can go 4 times faster, we're not going to test them. So it's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they go 4 times faster, we're not going to test them. Okay? And the thing is, with the term alien, right? You really got to be grateful to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Okay? Because they have, taught us, to look at words. That's one of the many things they taught us. Now, alien, it says circa 1300, strange, foreign, from Old French alien, strange, foreign, as a noun, an alien, stranger, foreigner, from Latin alienness, of or belonging to another, not one's own, foreign, strange. Right, so it just means a stranger, Right here, it says the meaning residing in a country not of one's birth is from mid-15th century. The sense of wholly different in nature is from 1670s. The meaning not of this earth is recorded by 1920. So alien, it pretty much just means foreigner, but what's riding inside of those so-called UFOs, what is inside there are the holy angels of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, not big-headed green men. all right, and not white little baby angels, man. The angels, are so-called black men, all right. There was another person had talked about them, how they got out on a airstrip, all right. Had a face like they've never been conquered before, So when you say alien, talking about the angels, in the sense of it being foreign, then in this, pretty much just giving an understanding, giving understanding on it, all right. But it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of heaven, the nations coming together to fight, try to stop and fight Yahweh Shai when he returns, right? To subdue the man that came out of the sea. The sea, once again, represents is talking about outer space, okay? Because Yahweh Shai is coming to this world from outer space. He's going to travel through outer space to get to this atmosphere of Earth right here, okay? So and Ronald Reagan had that speech, and he's going to have the angels with him. Revelation 1:7 talks about, behold, he cometh with clouds. And Ronald Reagan had a speech about if there was an outside force, from outer space, wouldn't all nations come together to fight it? And they are, okay? But you see, they're going to be scared. Trump even said if it's going 4 times faster, then you pretty much don't want to fight that. You don't want to test that. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 7, it says, then there was war in heaven, right? And this ain't talking about the angels in heaven, rebelling against the Most High. No, it says Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. The angels talking about military, because according to Revelation, the 9th chapter, it talks about Kaiser Wilhelm I, but it also calls him an angel. So men can be referenced to, men can also be, referenced to as an angel, okay? So this is the military, Esau's military fighting Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai's angels, man, the chariots. So this is going to happen. But look, verse 8, and prevailed not, so they lost. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Okay? So they are going to fight against the Lord, man. They're going to fight against the Lord. NATO, the EU, and the heathen militaries, they're going to join forces. Slacky, they're going to join forces to fight, to try to stop and fight Yahweh Shai. Let me get another precept. Okay, this is still in the book of Revelation. Revelation, the 17th chapter, proving to you, all right, that they are going to try to fight Yahweh Shai. That these NATO and EU nations. So starting from here, Revelation, the 17th chapter, starting from verse 12, it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. All right, and the 10 horns is talking about the European Union, the EU. All right. In verse 13, it says, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These have one mind, meaning they're in agreement with each other. All right. And it says, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So these European Union nations are going to give their power and strength to NATO, which NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right. So if a NATO country goes to war, everyone else is going to go to war. All right. Now, verse 14 is the point. It says, these shall make war with the Lamb. Who's the Lamb? Yahweh Shai. So these different EU nations, they're going to make war with Yahweh Shai. How? Well, we just read in 2 Ezra 13 and 5, Revelation 12 and 7. All right. So they're going to try to fight Yahweh Shai. It says, and the Lamb shall overcome them. See, but they're going to lose, man. It says, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. All right. And that's the elect. They that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. But willing that be us brothers, like-minded brothers, man. All right. And yeah, man, something else. Something else I wanted to get. All right, but let me go back to Second Esdras. So Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, right, and verse 6, it says, "But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it." Okay, talking about Yahushua flying up on top of his chariot. All right, and Yahushua's coming back in a huge, gigantic ship, man. All right, he's coming back in a huge ship, and it says a great mountain, which is talking about Yahushua's chariot. So it's so big that it looked like a mountain. All right, it says, verse 7, "But I would have seen a region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not." All right, so Esdras wasn't able to see where the chariot began or ended because the chariot was so large. All right, verse 8, "And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, all the nations, when they see Yahushua, they're gonna come together and try to stop him and fight him. All right, it says, were sore afraid." So they're gonna be afraid, man. They're gonna be afraid. But it says, "And yet durst fight," because the Lord gonna put His Spirit on them to continue to try to fight Yahushua. All right, but it's not gonna work. If you can read the rest of this. And by the way, I remember what I had wanted to get, because Yahushua, he can't. They're gonna try to fight him, but he can't die. He's immortal. This is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 18. It's in red letters showing you Yahushua himself said this. It says, "I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore." You see that? So Yahushua is now immortal, which means deathlessness. All right, he's unable to die. All right, opposites of money have the keys of hell and of death. All right, so, but there's a point in Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, I want to get to. Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, and starting in verse 29. Now it says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth." Right? And these days, all right, we are the times we're in right now, right? Verse 30, it says, "And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth," right? And astonishment means great surprise. So Yahushua is coming like a thief in the night, right? And in Wisdom of Solomon, it says, "So far beyond what they look for." So people are going to be astonished, surprised, and afraid, all right? Because nobody expects Yahushua to return in the way that he's going to return, with thousands of chariots, all right? With thousands, of angels within those chariots, man. Okay? You mean to tell me that they're going to cover the skies? So you mean to tell me people ain't going to be afraid? All right, verse 31, it says, "And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." Right? So, which ultimately, then that one realm against another, which ultimately is the heavenly realm, which is talking about Yahushua, and the angels against this realm, which is talking about the dragon or Esau and the other nations and their weapons and their military. Right, verse 32, "And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending." And the son is talking about Yahushua. Right, verse 33, "When all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle that they have one against another." All right. These nations, they're going to stop trying to fight each other, right? Verse 34,
"And one shall undertake to fight against another."
Salakia. It says, verse 34, "And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting." You see? So they are going to try to fight Yahushua, all right? But they're going to lose, and it tells you how, tells you they got burned up and everything, all right? But the chariots, man, they're real. Okay, those so-called UFOs are real, and that's how Yahweh Shai is going to make his second coming to this world. The grand entrance of the king. This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, starting at verse 9 through verse 11. And it says that when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Right? This cloud is talking about a so-called UFO. All right? Psalms 104:3 is a quick precept. Psalms chapter 104 and verse 3. It says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Right? Chariot talking about a so-called UFO. And those waters is talking about the atmosphere. It says, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. You see, because the so-called UFOs, they fly. All right? They fly in the air. So what else could this be? Okay? What else could that be? The walketh upon the wings of the wind. What else could that be? Now, back in Acts, chapter 1, verse 9, so talking about a chariot came to, pretty much beamed up Yahweh Shai. That's how he left, right? Verse 10, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, so they just, the apostles, they were looking up, right? It says, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which these were two angels, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. You see? So Yahweh Shai went into heaven by what? A so-called UFO. So he's going to come back in like manner as he left. Which is by way of the so-called UFOs, man. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. Behold, he, Yahweh Shai, cometh with clouds, the so-called UFOs. And Salakia for the background noise once again. It says, then every eye shall see him. Everybody's going to see Yahweh Shai, all right, when he returns. And they also which pierced him, even those Roman soldiers that had pierced him while he was being crucified over 2,000 years ago. All right. This proves reincarnation, which the word reincarnation means again or back in the flesh. Okay. So those same Roman soldiers that pierced him are here today. We don't know who they are, where they are. All right. But they're going to see Yahweh Shai when he returns. It says, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Why? Because Yahweh Shai is coming back to conquer. He's coming back to take over. It says, even so, Amun. All right. And I want to get the point where Donald Trump, he said about the like a circle or something like that.
Sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter plane.
That's the spirit. Went right to it. I didn't even know where it was at. I just went right to it. All right. But he said it was what?
Like beautiful Tom Cruise, but sir, there was something there that was round in form and going like 4 times faster than my super jet fighter.
Round in form. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1 and verse 16. The appearance of the wheels and their work was like unto the color of a beryl, and they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. So imagine that, a circle within a circle. That's a so-called UFO. That's how a so-called UFO looks. All right, and UFO stands for unidentified flying object. You see, and this shows you that this shows you that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is far greater than this world, this devil's government, this devil's power. All right, because the so-called white man, he calls them unidentified because he doesn't know what they are. All right, but the Lord, all right, he he woke up, he gave to his servants, all right, the understanding of the truth. All right, He gave his men, he gave the prophets the understanding of this truth. All right, and the prophets can tell you what they are. Okay, the prophets know what they are, so they're identified to the prophets. Okay, and this devil, he can't tell you what they are. He don't know. All right, let me look up the word unidentified aerial phenomenon just to get used to these words, so we see them, we know what they mean and everything. UAP meaning, it says an unidentified flying object, or a UFO for short, or unidentified anomalous phenomenon. You called it aerial, but now it's unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAP for short, is any perceived airborne, submerged, or transmedium phenomenon that cannot be immediately identified or explained. See, and I told you that they had changed it, right? UAP. It says unidentified aerial phenomenon, unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Let's look up those words aerial first. All right. Aerial. Existing, happening, or operating in the air. Once again, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. All right. And now, let me look at the word anomalous. It says inconsistent with or deviating from what is usual, normal, or expected. All right. Irregular, unusual. Research, an example, researchers could not explain the anomalous test results. You see? So they're saying it's an unidentified, anomalous, meaning unusual phenomenon. Because it's unusual to them because they don't know what it is. These devils don't know what it is. And guess what? Those same chariots, those same so-called UFOs or UAPs, all right, they want those same so-called UFOs or UAPs are going to destroy this place, man. Beam up the Lord's elect, you see, because he talked about also too.
People that are very smart and very solid have said they believe there is something out there. And, it makes sense that there could be. I've never been convinced, even despite that. I just, for some reason, it's not my thing. But a lot of people, and they will tell you, times I'm asked that question.
But don't
The lines of people waiting, you have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have?
Well, I forget where he has said it at, but pretty much he was going into how, something about, I believe he's talking him wrong, but I think he said something about there being foreigners, like illegal aliens and stuff. He refers to Ishikarites or so-called Mexicans, as illegal aliens and things like that, or people who enter the country or enter America illegally, But here it is, you're gonna have so-called, all right, Mexicans, so-called because, they're Ishikarites, all right, being beamed up into these so-called UFOs. You see? Because you're going to have, 12,000 men from each tribe, all right? And they're going to get beamed up. And also let's read that real quick. Revelation chapter 7. And verse 7, it says, the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. The tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. All right? Yeah, the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000, man. Okay? Because, in the tribe of Issachar, all right, we know, are the so-called Mexicans. Genesis 49, Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 28 even goes into it. All right? But, hey. Okay. So, they're going to be getting beamed up too. These the chosen of them. Okay. But, yeah, he said they don't want to, if he was saying if it flies faster than his jet, he don't want to fight it. Well, that's too bad because it's prophecy that, they're going to be fighting it. Okay. Let me even see what it. Let me look at the word phenomenon now. Phenomenon, and it says a fact or situation that is observed to a fact or situation that is observed to exist or happen, especially one whose cause is or explanation is in question. A remarkable person, thing, or event. Yeah, because they don't know, they don't understand what it is, and they bring it in question. Once again, remember they had a whole 8-day hearing on that, on the chariots, man. All right. But the scriptures talk about this, man. See, here's the thing. The apostles and elders of the great millstone have been telling people, all right, what these so-called UFOs are. You see, people all over the world seeing them. Even people, within, your regular cities and everything are seeing them. All right. But this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow was this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. You see? So pretty much when someone of some type of importance in this society says something, all right, then everybody's like, oh, wow, But us, brothers starting with our apostles and elders of great millstone and the brothers and like-minded brothers under them, all right, they've, we come out and say it, all right, then, people don't really pay attention to it. And that's sad, man, because now even your government doesn't understand them on the level that, the Lord has given us to understand them, to know that they're the so-called UFOs, that they are also the vehicles of salvation for the Lord's elect. Let me get a scripture that goes into it, man. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 11. And it says, and it came to pass as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, a so-called UFO, and the fire represents the lights, lights on the chariot. It says, and horses of fire, horses representing power. All right, it says, and parted them both asunder, because these so-called UFOs, or these chariots, all right, they can beam a person up into it. All right, so when it says, and parted them both asunder, right here you had the prophet Elijah, and then you had Elisha here. All right, but parted them both asunder, meaning only Elijah was beamed up into it, all right, and not Elisha. So, separated them, or in other words, parted them both asunder. It says, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Let me look at this word whirlwind, for edification's sake. 2 Kings, the 2nd chapter, and 11th verse for that word whirlwind. Strong's H5591, Sa'ir, and it says tempest, storm, whirlwind. Storm, tempest, whirlwind. Let me look it up on Google. Whirlwind. Whirlwind, it says a column of air moving rapidly around and around in a cylindrical or funnel shape, used in similes and metaphors to describe a very energetic or tumultuous person or process. All right, but let me type this in. What does a whirl? Let me see some synonyms for it. Yeah, tornado. But this is an actual tornado that comes from a chariot. Look at this. Let me type this in. What does a whirlwind do? Shalaki. It says, let me see if there's a picture. If I can't find it, I'll just say it. All right. Just want to see if there's anything on it. But pretty much, all right. But let me see, because another word was a tornado, but it's just a synonym for the word whirlwind. But pretty much what it says here, all tornadoes produce damage, but the most violent ones can cause automobiles to become airborne, rip homes to shreds, and turn broken glass and other debris into lethal missiles. The biggest tornado threat to human beings is from flying debris in the wind. All right, but pretty much, it's not talking about ripping up houses and things. It's talking about pretty much when it says a whirl, because what is a whirlwind? When it says Elijah went up to a whirlwind, went up by a whirlwind, all right, into heaven. Pretty much Elijah was beamed up, because what does a whirlwind do? What does a tornado do? It lifts you up in the air. All right, so does a so-called tractor beam. Okay, lifts you up in the air. So Elijah got beamed up. Verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. The horsemen talking about the angels. So ain't no green men inside of these chariots. All right, inside of the so-called UFOs. It's the angels. All right, it says, and he saw him no more. And he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. You see? And the elect, all right, are going to get beamed up. You see? Into these. This is the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. Starting from verse 30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahushua, coming in the clouds of heaven, the so-called UFOs, with power and great glory. This is how Yahushua is coming back to this world. And Yahushua shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. So from all over the world. All right, when Yahushua returns, he's going to beam up his elect from all over the world into the chariot, man. All right, chariot or chariots, because as Elder Chazak had brought out in Revelation 11 and 12, it talks about it. All right, it talks about a cloud. So, because sometimes in the scriptures, when you see the word cloud, all right, it'll be talking about a so-called UFO. So you have to have the correct understanding. There's Revelation chapter 11 and verse 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. You see? Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. All right? Beam up. Okay? It says, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, a so-called UFO, and their enemies beheld them. You see this? This is how the elect are going to get delivered. So, hey man, from all these from all these different, from the president, or not the president, but from Donald Trump talking about it, all right? From Donald Trump talking about it, all right, to people seeing it all over the world, okay? People are seeing the chariots. The Lord is allowing his chariots to be seen, man. All right, let me just type in UFO sightings. Let me just type in UFOs, and let me just press the news. It says right here, UFOs soar from taboo to presidential. The time has come. It says time has come to inject UAPs into the ... elections. Let me just see. This came out a day ago, June 17, 2024. It says, UFOs soar from taboo to presidential. Time has come to... All right, so they still didn't say it here. Now it says, the next president of the United States should be asked if he will release UFO-related documents, a new Paradigm Institute says. A once taboo subject that essentially forced whistleblowers like Bob Lazar into exile is the topic of a social media campaign, applying heat to debate moderators to question each 2024 candidate about his willingness to declassify the files. The next president of the United States will make critical decisions about UAP disclosure and government transparency, New Paradigm Institute Chief Counsel Daniel Sheehan said in a June 12th statement. But the thing is, us brothers, we don't need them to say that. We know what they are, okay? But you see, people still talking about the chariots, man, all over the world, man. But there's something I saw over here, looking up UAP, okay, on NASA, right? It says UAP FAQs, frequently asked questions. It says, will NASA be referring to UAP as an unidentified anomalous phenomena? It says, to be consistent with the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, NASA will be calling them unidentified anomalous phenomena And we just broke what that meant down. Instead of unidentified aerial phenomena. All right. Because why is NASA involved with studying UAP? Exploring the unknown in space and the atmosphere is at the heart of who we are. The nature of science is to better understand the unknown. But the thing is, this devil, the so-called white man, he's not going to be exploring space. That's for Jake to explore, not you devils, man. All right, these devils think they just going to be able to do everything and anything, man. No. It says, but the language of scientists is data. The limited number of high-quality observations of identified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, and this is on NASA's website. All right, it says the limited number of high-quality observations of unidentified anomalous phenomena, or UAP, currently makes it impossible to draw scientific conclusions about the nature of such events. All right. Here it says, without access to an extensive set of data, it is nearly impossible to verify or explain any observation. Thus, the focus of the study is, I'm going to highlight it. It says, thus, the focus of the study is to inform NASA what possible data could be collected in the future to shed light on UAP. To shed light, but you already have men that know what it is. It's a thing. All right. But you get the idea, man. All right. But hey, these chariots, all right, they're going to be the vehicles of the Lord's elect. But it's something because, Donald Trump had went on this man by the name of Logan Paul, had done an interview with him, and they had asked him about it, And you Americans, man, these UAPs or these chariots of the Lord, they ain't coming to help out you American people. Nah, man. Nope. They coming to deliver the Lord's elect. And this is the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter. I'm gonna end it with this in verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. All right. This is going into the elect being beamed up. All right. Into the chariot or chariots, so the Lord is going to beam up the elect out of America, but also all over the world as well. Okay, but mainly out of America. Okay, and one of the plagues, all right, is also the missile. Zechariah 14:12 tells you that, because the Lord ain't going to allow his elect to be destroyed by those nuclear missiles. All right, and so when that day comes, and that's the thing, it's something because you got Donald Trump talking about the chariots, people seeing them. And then you also got talks of nuclear war and America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. So this is all going to come to pass, okay? Nuclear missiles, it says Joel 2, there has not been ever the light, neither shall be, even to the years of many generations, roughly paraphrasing, okay? So because these nuclear missiles are being made, all right, to be used one time and never again after that, all right? So, hey, because when that day comes, that day of the Lord, when those nuclear missiles are shot over here in America, Yahweh Shah is going to be back and he's going to beam up his elect into those chariots, okay? And I'll get one more scripture, end it with that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 26 and verse 20. And it says, come, my people, enter down to thy chambers, talking about so-called your foes being beamed up into the chariot. It says, shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpast. All right? And bear with me just 1 second. Slovakia. And this is another precept going on to when Yahweh Shah returns and his elect being beamed up into the chariot, man. All right? But, I just wanted to bring this lesson out, okay? Because this is something, Donald Trump, had sat down and talked with these guys about. So you can check out the rest of the interview if you want, all right? But, hey, wanted to bring this out. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to whom it rightfully belongs, which is Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakhakwadash. That belongs to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, every well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Shalom to the elect.